Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it.
Welcome to the Ballology app Ultimate Demo. Trusted by leaders in the game. Ballology is a player development platform built for coaches and players alike. You can expect live shot tracking, workout libraries, and AI insights. You can easily chart team shooting drills in practice or in training sessions. Track all of those shots using an iPhone or an Android device in real time. You can view your team's performance through a video archive or by using our shot charts. After every shooting workout, take a look at your breakdown by viewing your percentages and your shot locations. Let's take a deeper look to learn how to make the most out of the Ballology app. Let's see how you measure up in the Ballology Skills Assessment, where you can test your shooting skills versus other shooters worldwide. Navigate to Ballology AI, where you can ask any question to get answers in real time for smarter training.
Make that footwork a little more sharp.
Coaches or players can create custom workouts in just minutes. Hit your on-court skills or basketball IQ or even strength and conditioning. It can be done on the Ballology app. Compete with everything you do on the Ballology app through our workout leaderboards. Elevate your game with the Ballology app. Download it for free today.
I would love to ask you a question about the balance of in film, the stretches or the negatives, the things that we got to improve on, and then the positives or the strengths. It's early in the year. It's most likely going to be mostly crap, like bad things that we don't really like because the habits aren't there yet. They don't know even what they don't know. And then, but you're looking towards the future. And I had a coach say that he's like, when I'm watching us play in October, November, I'm thinking about March and what we will look like. I like that idea. So what's your balance between those two right now?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me, and really this weekend, we left them alone. It just felt like we didn't call plays, we didn't have any sets in, we didn't give our guys really any outs with an easy basket. It was just like, you guys hoop, play hard, play whatever principles we have into this point. And to me, there was just a lot of quick shots, a lot of guys that are probably like, Coach, I can make that shot. And, they probably went 1 for 7 on the weekend in some of their shots. And, but on the flip side with defense, there's no telling how many 50-50 balls we got beat to. There's no telling how many blockouts to where we were there, but we didn't finish any possessions. It's amazing how many we're supposed to pick a guy up whenever he goes down. And how many times I'm going to show that clip tonight of, somebody going down and nobody going and picking them up. It's, it's going to be things like that. Just like, hey guys, all the execution stuff we can clean up and we're going to help you get a whole lot more organized, but we left you alone and let you hoop. But number one, what you hopefully learned from this weekend is that you need the system in order for us to win and look good. You can't just go do it on your own and play hero ball. And then on the second end of it is you can't play this soft. There's got to be more urgency. Our chemistry, camaraderie, our culture, our habits of how we want to be for our teammates. Like, we're not there yet, and I think they'll respond because they'll be able to see themselves. And 100%, we are looking to what we're going to look like in March, hopefully, but at the same time, I don't think you can get to step 2 before you take care of step 1. And so we really kind of got to protect our habits and how we're treating one another. And then we'll clean up the execution of offense and defense. And that'll come this week. And we'll be able to talk to some of these guys about their shots and their turnovers and explain to them why they're happening. And then hopefully, we play again next weekend. So hopefully we'll see some carryover quickly in 1 week, and we'll be better at what we want to be better at, what we emphasize tonight.
A couple nuggets that I just grabbed from what she said is, I think first, or the last thing is explain it rather than a series of turnovers. And we just watch them and say, hey, fellas, don't throw it to their team. Think I think we can be better and we can actually teach, especially with the question method of anytime, in my opinion, anytime a player drives a single gap, we're either going to turn it over or we're about to throw a pass that takes away an open look because it's off target. And you can just say, hey, don't drive single gaps or lead them and ask them questions of why do you feel like the turnover happened right there? Or ask them what they saw. So I think when you talk about explaining it, huge. It made me think of Kelvin Sampson's story that he talked about with at the beginning of the year. He brings a ladder out and for them to cut down the net. And at first, when I thought that, I was like, "Oh man, I love the idea, but I just don't know." It's always possible to win at the end. Sometimes more probable than others. And when his Houston teams, I think that's a pretty it's safe bet, to
Yeah,
put that ladder
exactly.
out. And I don't know if he was doing that at Montana State back in the day, but so he
Yeah.
puts it out and he has them, cut it. But he says, look down at the ladder. And he says, hey, don't forget steps 1 and 2. He's like, that's failure. And you got to go through those. And that's kind of what you said. You can't skip that step. And then you
Sure.
mentioned one of my favorite words is yet. You're not where you need to be with your culture plays yet. How important is that word at this time of year?
Yeah, I think it's everything, because I think right now, and I know it's a buzzword, it's cliche, everybody's using it, but it is what it is. And I think that to me, it's habits, and we're wanting to get rid of the bad habits that we don't like in our program and what we emphasize. And we want to create good habits and we want to hold them accountable to them and be able to explain again why they're important and why they're being held to them, and so and it every year as a coach, I don't know why I always get so disappointed in the beginning of the year because I want to have them figured out already. Like, hey, it's not that hard. I said it once. Like, shouldn't you just
That's
dive on the
right.
floor for a loose ball and shouldn't you clap for your teammate every single time? And it
Yeah.
just is amazing that every year you just exhaust yourself and really trying to get those habits and how you want them. And I just think that it has to start there before you can go into the building blocks of offense and defense and, just your execution of what you're going to do. And so I think it is the most important. And I think it helps with the accountability and understand that here's who we're going to be. And if you don't like it, get off the train, because we're going to move forward without you and we're not going to count on you or you're not going to be here, one or the other. And so you really have got to drive that early. And like I said, I feel like I give them a good balance of a lot of freedom and did this weekend. But now, hey guys, look, we're going to need one another. And that was very evident how many times, and you mentioned it, how many times did we drive a single gap where you got nothing, man? Or how many times did we take a no pass, one pass shot? We put no pressure on the defense.
Yep.
This isn't like you've got to get ball reversal. These guys are too good. These coaches and players are too good. And we're going to have a little bit of attack again type mentality in order to get
Mm.
as good a shot as we can get.
And I appreciate you saying that about the frustration or how you feel yourself kind of falling into that trap again of why doesn't it look better right now? Because I think it's October. We're about 23 days away, 24 days away from practice. And I'm already thinking, like, I don't know if it's if we're where we should be right now. But also I'm brand new to this place. Like that's what I'm trying to remind myself is who says we're supposed to look better than this right now? Like, that's just in my head. But I think that's a danger we all fall into, which is the maybe comparing to teams of the past and, the success or where they've been at this time. But then it's the coach at Chris Hill at Jesuit said, you got to approach every year as if it's brand new. You've never done it before, but easier said than done right there.
Yeah, I agree. I laughed the other day, because this is the first time in 4 years, I guess, since I've been a head coach. My last year at Angelo State was 2021-22. And, so it's been a couple of years, but since being the head coach, but my mom texted me the other day, hey, how's it going? And I had a laundry list of everything that was going wrong. And she said, hey, like, are you ever happy? Like, are you sure you're enjoying all this? And I had to think about it for a day. It froze me for like
Yeah.
24 hours. And I'm like, I hope I'm just not negative all the time, but there's just always something to be corrected. And there's something that even when you get one problem cured, the next one's waiting on you and you got to tackle it. And sometimes it just feels like it's this tall and you're trying to, like a to-do list, trying to get to the bottom of them. And I don't really think they're problems. It's just the expectations of where we're trying to get to and the expectations we place on ourselves and knowing that we're nowhere even close to getting there yet. And you just some days walk home or go home and feel like, dang, I'm a failure. I'm not
Yeah.
winning
A
today. I didn't
scorched
win today.
earth. That's what tomorrow is.
Yeah.
We're starting fresh. These guys are done. We're starting with a new group. That's
Yeah. And I think that's like the beauty of junior college too, is, like so many guys are coming. We only had one returning player and I wasn't here. So it's
wow.
not like returning for me. So we got
Yeah.
all these guys coming in from different places and everybody's new to me, including people here on campus and in the community and man, and the staff, we're all just new to one another. So it's just long days and but we're working. And again, I wish that we got 2 inches along every day. And I think we get 2 centimeters a day, but we're pushing forward and we're getting better a little bit every day. And, as long as we don't stay the same or go backwards, I just got to be happy with the progress with where we're at.
No doubt. Coach, there's this great video that I show at my MG basketball camps every summer, especially at the shooting college, because people ask about the weight room or their shot or even culture or anything, playing fast, whatever it is. When will we see improvement? When does that happen? And it takes what it takes is the answer. Who knows? I love to be able to have a calendar and say, okay, on this date, guys, we are going to be here. Man, and maybe we're blessed to be past it, but most likely we're probably not going to hit that mark. But this video is this huge boulder with these metal stakes down the middle of it, and a guy's pounding it, pounding it. It goes for like a minute long. You hear him hit those little metal nails each time. There's no thud of him just hitting rock and it pound, pound. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing breaks apart. And so the two questions I always ask them is, which hit did it? And some people say it's the last one. And then a few of them that have been around, all of them. I was like, exactly. Like all
Yeah.
those reps. The reps that your guys did this weekend are going to lead to something today, tonight, tomorrow. And then purposeful, like with your film and stuff tonight. Like I know that like you got to have a plan for that. And so that it's purposeful. It's not just throwing stuff up on the wall, but those are the two keys. Like when does improvement happen? I don't know. It takes what it takes, but small improvement and purposeful.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And that just brings to mind as we visit here about it. Like I worked for a coach one time that I think he would go to the previous 2 or 3 years practice plans and, it'd just almost be like whatever's supposed to come on October the 6th, he would do it from a year or 2 years ago and just kind of write in the new names of the team. And I remember thinking at the time, like, this year's way different than last year, and we're not quite, we got more new guys. I don't know if we can get this done, and so you're right. It just new people, and I like what Coach Hill said. I mean, it's just like every year you got to treat it like it's a brand new team. No telling how many returners you have. Man, one new guy can make it all different. And just you don't ever really remember where you're at from a year ago. You try to remember as a coach, be like, man, I feel like we had this in at this point last year, but we're just not understanding it this year. And so many. And I think I do this maybe more than others. Sometimes might even crush my confidence some, but I really reflect on myself a lot of what am I
Mm.
doing wrong? What am I like? Am I teaching this different than what I used to? Or is it just that they're different and I'm going to have to get it into their head a little bit different, but I really always try to really self-reflect. That's a big deal with me, but some days it does cause me to go home and text my mom and say, I'm not very happy or tell my wife, like, I just don't know why these guys aren't getting it. But I agree with what you say. It's just, there's a lot of different methods to be able to try to get it to soak in. But at the end of the day, it takes what it takes. And if it ends up taking all the way till, December to get some of these things across, well, you know, either got to teach it a different way or just find out that, hey, our guys can't do it the way I want it done. And we're going to have to tweak and do something different.
Yeah. And you don't want this, but the truth is it may take 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Because the more I get to do this, especially when I talk to coaches that have recently taken over a program, And they're all phenomenal, but normally their first year, and this isn't to like make you and I feel bad or worried about what's about to happen, but it's not a great record, but they're building those blocks and the foundation. And then, hopefully you have an AD and an organization around you that supports you during that time.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.